Kind of sounds like you and I were in the future.
We both were in the future. You were in 2050. I mean, you were really in the future.
2030.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah,
I was definitely.
But either way, we're looking towards the future and seeing what these changes we're going to do to the industry.
That's what we do here at the Hot Mix, man. We look towards the future. Welcome back, everyone, to the Hot Mix, an InstroTek podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Maurice.
And today we are bringing you something with a little international flair, as Maurice and I have been traveling.
Yes,
I was
sir.
Stateside, but he did go international.
Yeah.
I was here in Auburn, Alabama at the NCAT Test Track Conference.
And I was over in Saudi Arabia and Qatar for a workshop/visit to one of our partners.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Well, just kind of, what are you thinking? I mean, how was it? What was going on?
Yeah, so it was actually excellent. It was something that we had been planning for the last 3 months, and we got invited by one of our guests. Our host was QCQA MENA. They're one of the companies out there that is, sells and provides support for the asphalt industry and products and everything like that. They set up a workshop where they invited people from all the United States. Dr. Randy West was out there.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Bill Butler. A couple of professors from Qatar University were there. So it was a number of different people, myself, and yeah, it was a one-day workshop where we presented some of the newest technology here from the United States. As you know, Saudi's going through a infrastructure rebuild. They have a 2030 plan. They have a lot of new cities that they're building right now. One is called Neom. I'm not sure if you heard of that one. And the other one's called The Line.
Sounds cool, though.
Yeah, it's totally cool. And yeah, it's an excellent time to be there because, again, they're looking at how to grow their infrastructure, how to make it better, to be able to provide way in and out through their country to these new cities that they're building, as well as the capital. So really, really good and fun experience. We spent one day at the workshop presenting and showing the products. The nice thing is we had all our products there. We had the Pave Scan, the MDM, the Core Dry, Core Lock. All of them were there. So not only did we get to present on them, but we got to show them as well. We have a couple pictures and slides for that workshop that we'll show you. And then the next day I got to go to Riyadh Central Laboratory and meet some of the engineers, some of the technicians, as well as show them how the Core Dry Pro works, how the Core Lock. They actually had a Core Lock there, believe it or not. I'll show you,
did
a
they?
picture. Yeah, they had a Core Lock. I was kind of surprised. I walked in and there was a Core Lock. Really fun.
Do they have any good food out there? I mean, what kind of food do you eat out there? Is it like traditional Saudi Arabian cuisine or how?
Yeah, no, we actually went to a excellent restaurant.
Oh, you
did?
did?
Yeah, it was delicious, but it was Italian. So, unfortunately, we ended up going to this beautiful area, very cultural area. It's a historical site. They're building a new city out there called City of the Earth, and when we went out there, there must have been at least 50 cranes. As far as you can see, there were cranes just building. And we walked into a restaurant, sat down, got our drinks, and we're thinking, we're going to order some traditional cuisine, and it was an Italian restaurant. So we ended up eating Italian that night. But I'll be honest with you, they know how to do Italian.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
It was excellent.
I'm sure they do.
The ragu there, I promise you, ask Dr. Randy West, and he'll tell you that it was an excellent dinner, a lot of fun, and a beautiful area. Their modernism with their their cultural architecture and bringing all that in, it looks phenomenal.
That's a nice plot twist.
Yeah,
that was a nice plot twist, man.
So it was good. And then afterwards, we actually ended up in. I went to Doha to go see our partners, DTL. You know DTL very well.
Love them.
Doha Technical Laboratories. Yeah, very great guys. Ahmed and Ayman hosted me for 2 days. I went to go see their lab. And I tell you what, their lab is one of the best and biggest in the country. They obviously had to get a lot of work. They got a lot of work done because of the World Cup, the 2022 World Cup that they hosted. They just finished hosting.
Gorgeous.
And their lab has pretty much everything from bitumen, asphalt, concrete, rebar, metals, plastics. I mean, if it's used for construction, they test it. And
Say that 5 times fast. My man rattled those off quick. Bang, 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 bang.
I knew it because I was there, and we'll show you all these labs. But, man, what a great, great facility they have. They have also radiation detection for survey meters and calibration of those, nuclear gauges. And it was wonderful seeing their operation and seeing it firsthand. I've never been there. It was great to be at the lab and kind of see some of all they tell me about in all these labs that they have. So it was great. And then afterwards, I got to go see some of the city, and I tell you, Doha is a beautiful city. If you haven't been there, their new airport is amazing. I mean, they literally have a nature trail in the airport. Internal.
What?
I mean, amazing. Yeah, I took pictures of it. Once you step out of the airport, you're in a beautiful seaside city, gorgeous water with the most modern city I have ever been to. I mean, it's literally like you're in the future, Anthony. I kid you not. It's like I stepped into 2050.
Oh, 2050? You're jumping that far ahead?
I jumped, like 30 years ahead.
I didn't jump that far ahead at my conference, I can tell you that. We're going, but we're not going that fast.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I got to go see the Raffles Hotel. If you haven't seen this hotel, it is 2 arcs that intersect at the bottom. Absolutely gorgeous. And then the stadium, the World Cup Stadium, which I believe is called the Lusail Stadium, where they hosted the World Cup in the finale. One of the best soccer games I've ever seen, the World Cup finale. And that stadium is just, I mean, it's breathtaking. Being outside of it, seeing it, and seeing how the infrastructure around it, just beautiful. But the whole city, the people, the vibe there's really laid back, but extremely clean, and everything was just really well done for the World Cup event, and no wonder they had such a great venue to host it, because they did so much work prior to the World Cup to get that infrastructure in that city looking so beautiful. Great experience both. So thank you for the people that hosted me. I really appreciate it. Learned a lot. The biggest takeaway from there is, everybody's kind of pushing towards more performance testing, even in that region of the world, and they're really interested in knowing more about what we're doing here in the United States and how we can help each other and learn from each other to really both grow the infrastructure in those countries.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, that's fantastic. I can't really top any of that, but I'm going to tell you some cool stuff that
All right, well, listen, I know that you were just at the NCAT test track, and this episode might come out a little bit later, but we're going to talk about it because this conference is very popular, and everybody in my social media feed has been posting pictures, putting information up there. So tell me a little bit about the conference and set it up for us.
Yeah, so the conference traditionally was the same as far as like the way we set up our vendor booths and everything like that. But where this conference really excelled, in my opinion, was not only did we get to visit the test track, which is awesome, and shout out to NCAT for making all those logistical things happen, because it's it was like herding cats a little bit, trying to get all those people into one station, right? But the actual flow and the things, the knowledge share in the actual sessions. Word. Yeah, I know you do, man. I know that gets you going. I want to drop it at least once an episode. Just to,
knowledge
charge you up.
Okay, I got it on my bingo. Here you go.
The people that were presenting were very passionate, very informative, and really had just awesome data to go over. And so many people were excited to see what had happened from 3 years ago, because this conference happens every 3 years. And so everybody that was there last time was excited to see what the data was showing.
Absolutely.
And I think the main takeaway, and spoiler alert, I'm going to give it to you right off the bat, because that's the type of person I am. The main takeaway here is that they're finding that these performance testing and the balanced mix design is elongating the life of roads.
Excellent.
Yeah. And I don't want to say one way or another, but the long and the short of it is they're seeing 30% more sustainability and durability in asphalt pavements.
Right, and why is that important? Why is that important to our industry?
I mean, I think just right now the hot button item was going to be environmental. I mean, one thing,
more
obviously
sustainable nodes, net zero. I think that's a whole big push for our industry. Asphalt's the number one recyclable material, 100% recyclable. And so when we add all these things on top of it, the asphalt industry seems to be leading in some of these areas now. And it's great to know that some of the efforts that have been put in by starting BMD are starting to pay off, and you're seeing those on the test track.
Yeah, and I think that from student to professor, obviously everybody that was, when we went to visit the test track, was so knowledgeable about what they had seen.
Yeah.
And any questions that it was phenomenal. Any questions you had, bang, 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 all these answers right off the bat. You're like, man, these people really know asphalt.
They're very passionate, and seeing the new students and the new PhDs coming into light, presenting what they've learned, and knowing that that's going to be the future of our industry is something we're all about here at the Hot Mix.
It is. I mean,
and
that's the whole mission here at the Hot Mix, right?
Absolutely,
Is, talking about this industry and how cool it really is once you dive into it.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
And I think that this conference, if you're looking at a conference to go to once every 3 years, this is the one, because you'll bring back so much information and you'll be able to share. But and the people there are cool, and Auburn is a cool city.
Yeah, no, I have a question. So you went to the test track, did all that stuff, but let's really get down to the business. What was some of the cool places in Auburn? What was a cool bar that you would suggest if you were ever in Auburn?
I got to shout out Acre.
Acre.
Yeah.
Acre,
it was a
okay.
Great bourbon selection there.
Great acres or
Great Acre. That's actually what you should change the name of your bar to.
How's the coffee at Great Acres?
Yeah, it was. I'm sure it was great, man. They had a nice.
You didn't try it,
They
did
had a
you?
nice Krups grinder there. They had a big, big coffee maker there.
Was there any coffee flavored bourbon or no? It's just
no. I mean, none that I've ever tried, man. I'm a little bit of a purist. When it
you're
comes
a purist.
To the bourbons,
I got you.
But there was, I mean, everywhere the coffee there. I mean, I didn't know Auburn was such a coffee city, man.
Yeah, I think you're in a college campus. They got to stay up somehow, right?
That's a fair point.
Yeah,
that's a fair point.
Yeah, and any other acts that you saw that you might want to shout out?
You know what?
Something fun that you see?
I didn't want him to steal the show, so I didn't want to, talk about him early. But Travis Walbeck, what a talented fella he is.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy can just sing and play that guitar.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal.
And he's good with an equation, too.
Great with an equation.
Yeah.
Trifecta.
Yeah, he's a songbird, that guy.
Yeah, he's a songbird.
Yeah.
He is. And, voice of an angel, whether he's presenting or whether he's singing, that guy's really
when he
got
sings,
it.
I can't even look at his face.
No, I can't either.
I can't even look at his eyes.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a reason. There's a reason why he does what he does. He knows what he's got in the bag.
Also, something about Travis? Phenomenal dancer.
Oh, yeah.
Phenomenal dancer. If you're a world of asphalt, you know what I'm talking about. So
yeah, guy's got rhythm for days.
No, he's always a fun time, and he was a big part of this conference, right?
Huge.
All funny, all joking aside, he's a huge part of this conference. He helps us put it together, and unfortunately, because of my trip to the Middle East, Anthony had to go. I was going to go as well.
Fortunately for me, though.
Yeah, fortunate for Anthony. I think it was a good experience for Anthony. So if you are looking for a conference to go to and really learn about the industry,
sure.
This one happens every 3 years, so it isn't like a yearly conference, but you can look up NCAT or National Center for Asphalt Technology at Auburn, and you will find information on the conference there. We can also throw a link on the description below so you guys have access to it. If you haven't been, definitely highly suggest it. But the next one's going to be when? 2027.
That's
correct?
Right. Yeah, we're going to go into the future.
Yes, it's in the future. Not that far, but far enough. But either way, thanks to all the folks there at NCAT for having us and allowing us to exhibit and be there to learn more about the industry.
And thank you all for listening to us. As always, we really appreciate the support.
Yes.
Thank you so much for tuning in and subscribing. We really appreciate it. And just remember one thing. Keep it hot.
Keep it real.
Keep it real hot.